So guys, we saw some green in the crypto markets today. Bitcoin was trading above 105,000. Altcoins all anywhere from 5, 10, even 20% increases. But there's a few specific indicators around Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance that are pointing to the fact that risk assets, yes, our altcoins more than likely are going to be trading sideways for a bit longer. And overall, we have some predictions on when altcoin season could be potentially happening based off of liquidity injections and overall exactly how everything's going to be shifting. If you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. Intermediate trader documenting my journey since the beginning of 2023, showing you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated around specific indicators around Bitcoin, altcoins, just so you can understand how liquidity is shifting and how you can position yourself around specific altcoins, as well as overall the day-to-day events. Right now, guys, specific indicators around Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance are really showing us that altcoins are getting squeezed. Right now, we did see a little bit of green today, but pointing to the fact that in the next few weeks, based off of how liquidity is going to be shifting with the FOMC meeting that happened yesterday, we could be seeing a little bit of red before we start seeing a huge shift. But overall, I want to talk about all that, the sentiment in the markets, and exactly what you need to know. Let's jump into it. So guys, like I said, we did see some green in the markets today. Bitcoin's trading at around 104,000. We did see that move to 105,000 earlier today. Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance are the two indicators that we're keeping up with to really let us know when liquidity is shifting out of altcoins, which is why altcoins right now look like they want to jump off a freaking cliff. And this is honestly going to point to the fact when liquidity is shifting back into our altcoins. You can see that the total 2 chart is seeing a little bit of green today, pretty much based off of how the markets have been performing. You know, like how I said, I think it's the end of the week. A lot of people are getting paid. People are taking advantage of the dips in the markets. Overall, those specific indicators around Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance are really pointing to the fact that we're still seeing a squeeze for altcoins. Justin Bennett talked about it pretty much with the FOMC meeting that happened yesterday. He said, as things stand, he still sees no reason to be bullish on crypto or risk assets right now. Even the potential W pattern on tether dominance, USDT dominance, points to a 20 to 25% pullback for Bitcoin from current levels, which aligns with Bitcoin HTF imbalances and a November CME gap. And overall, guys, we've been keeping up with USDT dominance and Bitcoin dominance and how it has been waking up. And this is why I anticipated a crash prior to the inauguration and everything. A lot of people thought we were going to rip up, but I anticipated a crash. I documented all on this YouTube channel, so you go check out all those videos. New to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, guys, and keep you guys updated with everything you need to know, just so you can understand how liquidity is moving into the market and overall exactly predictions when everything's are going to be taking place. But overall, guys, based off of these predictions with USDT, we could be seeing a little bit more of a squeeze with Bitcoin, which more than likely could cause a panic around altcoins as well. Benjamin Cohen talks about exactly Bitcoin dominance and exactly the spike we've been seeing and what he expects. I've been talking about hitting that 60% mark, and Benjamin Cohen pretty much cements my ideas about this. He says probably see a spike back above 60% Bitcoin dominance soon. Not saying it will hold 60% for long, but before going back below it, you could even argue that alt/Bitcoin pairs to get a relief bounce, first dominance may need to get that spike above 60% threshold, which is what I believe. I said that more than likely Bitcoin dominance is going to shoot up, and then near the end of February, moving into March, I think that's whenever altcoins are going to start to get a liquidity shift, and that's whenever we're going to start to see a huge pump up, which is why I think you should start allocating to the markets. At the end of the day, we could be deviating a little bit lower, but having yourself already a bag is going to allow you to be exposed so that if you start to explode up, you have some, gains that you can make based off of holding some coins. Virtual Bacon actually made a great post talking about how liquidity is going to start shifting into the market. So a lot of people are wondering like, okay, well, when is the liquidity going to start moving into the markets based off of the FOMC meeting and the data and everything that's currently going on? Well, the US debt crisis demands a liquidity injection, and the Fed is the last buyer of resort. With trust and treasury bonds fading, a balance sheet expansion seems inevitable. March 19th, the FOMC meeting, which is a key date. If the Fed pivots, liquidity will surge. Track the balance sheets as a reversal is on the horizon. So we're keeping up with specific events like this to let us know when liquidity is moving into the market. And this just aligns with my thesis, guys. At the end of February, moving into March, when we're going to start seeing exactly price action around risk assets and altcoins. This is whenever I start to plan to take a little bit of profits, which moving into CryptoCon's next chart, which is showing us, trends around Bitcoin and exactly when we start to see the top, is really going to let us know when we want to start taking profits right before the huge top, and whenever we see, you know, price action starts to go super freaking crazy. But this is a great post letting us know exactly when liquidity is going to start moving into the markets and we can start seeing a huge major shift. Overall, CryptoCon talks about exactly the Google trends around Bitcoin. I talked about this in one of my recent videos, talking about exactly, you know, specific sectors and, you know, why you need to be investing in altcoins right now and how to navigate Q1 of 2025. And, you know, right now it says using the RSI of Google Trends data for Bitcoin searches, we can see when people start to get interested and use that to determine where we are in the cycle. There are 5 main places people start to search for Bitcoin. The first price rise after the end of the bear market. So guys, this happened pretty much in the middle of 2023 whenever I actually started my journey, and this is whenever we have the first move. And the first move in the Google trend searches for Bitcoin. The second is the second major mid-cycle move. Okay, guys, this happened in like the Q1 of 2024 moving into Q2. This is whenever we had that March pump up for all our altcoins and everything was ripping super hard. Then it moves into 3, the new all-time highs, which is as Bitcoin starts to near and make new all-time highs based off of whenever Bitcoin broke 100,000. You guys are aware of that as well. Now for leading into or during the first cycle top. This is where we're moving into, and then from there, the final cycle top. 4 is where I plan to take profit, guys, and I plan to share it all on this YouTube channel, which is why you need to like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna keep you guys updated with everything you need to know. Nobody else is doing this stuff. Overall, as you might expect, interest rates start to ramp up during major price rises. It seems that after enough increase, people start to get bored, which is exactly what's happening right now, and interest drops just before major highs are put in. We have just completed phase 3, which is the all-time high move. The RSI has made a full reset, which means that the next phase will be underway, phase 4, first cycle top. And the RSI, guys, that he's talking about is pretty much at this bottom mark, but overall it pretty much says that we're on phase 4. In other words, people are bored, but they won't be for long, which is why I've been, you know, telling everybody right now, take advantage of these dips, take advantage of a lot of the red in the market. Right now we're seeing green, but even then assets are down anywhere from 50 to 60 to 80% from where they have seen themselves. Even Google searches confirm what other data tells us. Lots of the cycle left to go. And overall, guys, yes, there's lots of the cycle left to go. I actually plan to take out a lot of profits in the move in that 4 point whenever he's talking about exactly the first cycle top, because altcoins are going to see a huge rip up, and then more than likely they're going to deviate back down, which I plan to take a good amount of profits and then cycle everything back in before the huge final rip up in the last, you know, final cycle top. But overall, guys, these are things that you need to be aware of. This is stuff that gives you not only a macro lens, but also a broad perspective as to when things are going to be happening. Mustache talks about exactly altcoins. He says, I don't know, but if Bitcoin dominance breaks this rising wedge to the downside, you'll see altcoins flying left and right. We deserve it, don't we? Don't we? And overall, guys, I think that this is actually going to be happening. But like how I said, in due time. Nearing the end of February, moving into the March, whenever we have those big events, pretty much around the FOMC, March 19th, that's the key date when we can start to see an exact liquidity injection into the markets. But overall, guys, swiping everything to the side, those are the specific indicators that you need to be aware of and specific events that are going on. Right now, everyone is in a dead zone. Everyone feels like we're at the top of the cycle. People aren't aware that these are 4-year cycles. This is really crazy, the time that we're in. We're about to see a huge crazy shift. But if you're not aware of Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, and how liquidity is shifting into the markets, how these huge events like the FOMC meetings, and then key events like the FOMC meeting happening in March 19th, and then overall events like around the AI space that are going to have an effect on specific altcoins, and then overall exactly where we're at in this crypto cycle based off of these searches with Bitcoin. Overall, guys, this is a very bullish time, and you need to lock in and keep up with all these events. I'm gonna keep you guys updated with everything you need to know, but this is where you need to start doing your due diligence, start looking for those altcoins, and really start to put your heels into the ground and get ready and buckle up for some crazy times. But overall, I want to run you guys back through everything really quick, and then from there tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. So Bitcoin rallied up really hard, sitting at around 104,000. Everything saw a little bit of green today. You can even see on the total 2 chart we saw some green. The 2 indicators that we're really keeping up with is Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance, because whenever these assets start to see liquidity and they start to pump up, altcoins get squeezed. This is just basic understanding of the market and how liquidity moves. Overall, based off of the FOMC meeting that happened yesterday, the FOMC day, Justin Bennett gives his perspective around risk assets and talks about the tether dominance pattern with this W pattern that's pretty much forming. He believes that we could see a pullback for Bitcoin, anywhere from a 20 to 25% pullback. Benjamin Cohen talks about how he thinks that we're going to be hitting around 60% Bitcoin dominance before a crash back down, which I actually believe. I talked about this in previous videos, but overall I think that we might be seeing a touch there before crashing back down. Virtual Bacon talks about exactly a key event, a key date, March 19th, the FOMC day. The US debt crisis demands a liquidity injection, and the Fed is the last buyer of resort. So overall, guys, this key date is going to let us know if the Fed pivots and liquidity surge is going to be happening. Overall, in terms of where we're at in the crypto cycle, everything is still on track. Right now, we're pretty much moving into phase 4, which is leading into or during the first cycle top. Overall, whenever this happens, Bitcoin dominance is more likely going to hit a region. It's going to crash down, and altcoins are going to start to run. And then from there, everything is going to crash down, deviate a little bit sideways before we see that last final cycle top, more than likely happening in Q4 of 2025. Overall, though, swiping everything to the side, guys, this is the time that you need to start getting super bullish on altcoins and the crypto markets in general. But you need to be aware of specific indicators around Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, and really understand how liquidity moves. Because if you can understand how liquidity moves, you won't freak out whenever altcoins are taking a crazy dip. And as long as you're invested in proper companies that are, actually bringing real technology to Web3 and actually, changing the space, then you shouldn't worry. All you should be doing is allocating, learning more about these specific events, how they're going to have an effect on the markets, and exactly when altcoins are going to be ripping up. But overall, that's exactly what's going on. I want to see a little bit more information in terms of what's going to be happening with the price action around these assets. Bitcoin dominance might be hitting that 60% mark. So I want to see exactly what's going to be happening. People are getting paid tomorrow. People got paid today, so people are buying assets. But moving into next week is really going to let us know exactly how everything is going to be going and exactly how we close out this week. But new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. Intermediate trader, documenting my journey since the beginning of 2023. Probably shouldn't say intermediate anymore. I have a strong understanding of the markets, but I show you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated on the day-to-day events and then specific indicators around these assets like Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, so you can understand how liquidity moves and when altcoins are going to be having a huge rip up. There's a lot of FUD in the markets, guys. There's a lot of FUD in the crypto space in general, and that's why I had this YouTube channel. I didn't have that much information, and now I have the information to, give people the other information that they need to properly navigate the space. None of this is financial advice by any means. I'm not a financial advisor. You need to do your own due diligence and research on everything that I show you, but I like to show you guys how someone like even me can navigate the space, make those crazy gains, and overall predict what's going to be happening. But if you're new to the channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my content. Let me know what you guys think about these indicators, exactly where we're going for altcoins, what altcoins you're buying, what altcoins I need to buy, and exactly where you think we're going to be going. But new to the channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. I drop day-to-day content, so stay tuned, and hopefully I catch you tomorrow. Peace.